Alrighty, today I'm here with DJ, one of my buddies. Welcome to TheoEdu. DJ, why don't you introduce yourself?
What's up? Yeah, I'm DJ. I am a sophomore at Criswell, and I am a worship leader at CLife.
CLife, it's a pretty big church, isn't it?
It is. It's pretty. 5 campuses. It's a good size.
What's the biggest crowd that you have performed to?
1,100.
1,100.
It was at a youth event.
And what's something that you look into people that want to serve with you? What's something that, because I bet you got a lot of people working, not for you, but next to you. And you're the leader of the team, so tell me a little bit about.
Yeah, I mean, one of the main things that I look at is, are they a good learner? Like, can they take what I say and apply it? You need that for every position. It's very important with whether you're working in a church or whether you're working somewhere else. To be a good leader, you have to be a good learner, you know?
And what's your ministry? I mean, what's your story in ministry? How do you get to come to know the Lord? Just tell me about.
Yeah. So I grew up in church. My dad was a worship pastor growing up. So I would go to church with him, sing on stage with him. And when I was about 7, accepted Christ and got baptized. But I don't think it really became my faith until probably senior year of high school. Okay. I went down the bad path that, most people go down, did the partying, all
the crazy stuff.
All the lust, temptation, everything. Went down that path. And then senior year, I just felt the Lord kind of taking those things out of my life. The friends that I used to hang out with, I don't even talk to anymore. They're completely, the Lord completely took them out of my life. Was supposed to go with them to TJC to be a firefighter. And then, I got asked, hey, do you want to intern? And I was like, okay, cool. That'll just be for the summer. I'll just do it for the summer, and then I'll go to TJC and do the firefighting. And slowly, things just got taken away. Wasn't going to go to TJC anymore. That means I wasn't going to be a firefighter anymore. Turns out I loved interning. I love interning. And getting to serve the church. And I found out that was my true passion. And I think that without things here and there getting taken away, I wouldn't have known that.
Was that hurtful? It hurted you?
It was. There were days that I, the specific day, I came home from a concert with all my big group of friends, and they were talking about school and moving in together and all that. And at this point, I already knew that I wasn't going to be able to go there. I just came home and I cried to my mom. And I was like, Mom, I don't know what's going on. I want this really bad, and I don't understand why it's not happening. Why? Just why? I didn't have an answer, and I wanted to answer. And I'm a person that really wants to have my future planned out. Really wants to know, hey, what is next? And when I don't know, it freaks me out. And at that point, I just went to my mom and I cried. I was like, Mom, what am I doing? What do I do? All my friends are leaving. I'm going to have nobody. And I just felt all alone.
And something interesting about you, you're a pretty chill dude. You're not talking to it like a lot of people. You're kind of low key.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's part of your personality. But the few times that you talk, you're preaching. You're talking truth. I feel like you don't really waste your voice with a lot of people, which is completely cool. It's completely fine. But has that been a issue for other people to allow you to serve? Because you'll be serving regardless of people like it or not. You'll be doing your thing. But have you felt some kind of pushback from people because you're not so much friendly with everybody and anyone? Or do you know
Yeah,
I'm trying
yeah.
to ask?
I get what you're saying. Not really. I think there's like two different sides of me. Like when I'm at church and I know like, hey, right now I need to be their worship pastor. I need to talk and be selfless and ask them how are they, because I need to shepherd the people, you know. So there's very different sides of, I guess, my personality. I don't know. When I'm in that space, I'm very outgoing and talkative, and you know.
And how do you handle any criticism that you might face along the way, even here at school or out there?
Yeah.
I know you just don't care.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, there is a point where you kind of have to don't care. And like, you just have to kind of approach it with an open mind to like think about who's criticizing me. Is it somebody that I trust? Is it somebody that I want criticism from? And think like, okay, what are they saying? How can I learn from this? How can I get better? And I think that that's just kind of how you have to do it. You have to approach it with an open mind and be a learner. Like I said earlier, a good leader is a good learner. But at the same time, on the other side of that, if it's somebody that, you know, you don't really want criticism from because they might not 100% know what they're trying to tell you, then you kind of just have to like kind of brush it off your shoulder. Because especially as a musician, not everybody's going to like me, bro. Not everybody.
Or your music.
Yeah, or my music. Like, nobody is going to have the same opinion. So you kind of just have to take what people say with a grain of salt. Unless it is somebody that you trust and it's somebody that you want to learn from.
Yeah, I've learned like if you're not in the position where I want to be, you ain't got much to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that helps a lot. And then jumping onto like we've talked a lot about girls dating, and you seem to have a really healthy relationship. What it seems. How do you came to know Liv is her name, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Liv. How do you came to know Liv? How have you been handling the dating situation in ministry and school and life? What's the secret sauce, bro?
I don't think there's any secret sauce. But yeah, we kind of met through a friend at church.
Okay.
One of her friends that was in her sorority with her went to my church, and it was actually at her graduation party that I like saw her for the first time in person. And my friend Caleb, Caleb was there, and I went into the room and I was like, Caleb, the redhead's here. She's here, bro. And basically I was kind of being dumb. I just walked out kind of acting like I was doing stuff in the kitchen to like make sure that I was noticed.
Okay.
And I wasn't noticed. But I slid in the DMs after.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I basically just invited her to church. I was like, hey, I'll be leading here. Pull up. Let's go get food after. And she did. And from the stage, just watching her worship was insane. Never seen anything like it. It was so convicting, actually.
Wow.
Why am I not worshiping that hard? Why am I not doing that? It was very cool to see. And I was like, that's it.
That's the one.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, and then we went to eat after and just talked and talked and talked. And first dates are kind of you know, especially me. I'm not the best talker when the other person isn't really talking. But like we talked for hours and talked about like what we believe and like why we believe it, and just had conversations that I had never had on a date, especially a first date. It's like we started off with having the Lord at the center, and I think that that's a big part of it. Like I'd never prayed over our food on a first date before, and I did then, and it was like, it was uncomfortable. Like I'd never done that. I'd never kind of put my faith out there, you know, on a first date. And I did, and it allowed the relationship to start off in a good way.
When was this?
10 months ago.
Jeez,
10 months ago. Just opened savings account for a ring now.
no way.
Yeah, it's going good.
So what do you seek in marriage? I mean, your parents are divorced.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So what's one of the toughest lessons that you're like, I'm not going to do this?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. From having divorced parents, you kind of have to learn from other places what love is, what love looks like.
Okay. What are those places?
Like basically just couples that you look up to. Like for me, it's Liv's parents.
Okay.
I get to watch Liv's parents love each other daily. And it is very clear that they love each other. And it's very clear that the Lord is at the center of that. So a big part of having a relationship like that is to have the Lord at the center. Yeah, I mean, what was your question again? I kind of just started
what are you
rambling.
seeking? No, it's great. But what are you seeking in marriage? I mean, it's just, of course, having the Lord in the center. But when you said, or if you want to talk about your parents, bro, like, how do you see the love of God in you if you probably didn't see it through your parents? If that's a fair question.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I don't know. Because of what happened with my parents, I kind of...
What happened? If you want to share.
Yeah. Basically, my dad cheated on my mom, got divorced, and he married the girl that he cheated on my mom with. But as of today, he's no longer with her. My mom and dad are best friends. Took a complete 180 turn. But that still happened, and it still...
Hurt you?
Yeah. I mean, I was young. I was like 8 or 9. But from the get-go, I didn't have time to grow up and learn what love is supposed to look like through my parents. Like, my sister was 13, 14. She got to see my parents loving each other. I never got that. At least I don't remember seeing it. So I had to kind of learn for myself, what does love look like? What is it supposed to look like? And I don't know, basically through, like, the reason that I'm looking for marriage is, one, because I feel like the Lord calls us to do that.
To commit.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're supposed to find our person and grow a family, and lead your family as men. Lead our family. I feel like we're called to do that. Maybe not everyone, but I feel like I'm called to do that. So, I mean, yeah, just by learning from, like, married couples what it's actually supposed to look like, especially in these past 10 months of dating Liv, being able to watch her parents. Now I know what it's supposed to look like, And now every single day I'm pushing to have it look like that. I mean, completely different than where I thought I would be right now, you know?
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
it's pretty cool. Yeah. Did you ever take any sort of anger to the Lord based on your parents' actions or your life? Were you?
Yeah. I mean, there were days where I was laying there and I was like, God, why? You know, why am I the one that has divorced parents? Why am I the one that has to have basically two separate families? Why do I have to watch all my friends' parents love each other and all that? And I don't get that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get to be able to say that my parents are still together. I don't get that. I don't know. It brought some anger. Yeah.
Did you get an answer from the Lord?
Yeah. I think that the reason that it went through that, my family as a whole went through that, was at least so me and my sister were able to see what it's not supposed to look like. Does that make sense?
It's a good way to see it, yeah.
And also be able to learn from my mom, who is the most forgiving person and selfless person I've ever met in my life. Being able to watch her kind of put her feelings aside and say, he wronged me. He did. But I forgive him. Like, I have kids that I need to look after. Yeah. And I want them to have a relationship with their dad, so I forgive him.
Mm. Have you forgive him?
Do I?
Have you forgive him?
Yeah. Yeah. It took a while, and it took some anger, and it took a lot of talking. Not so much with him, but like counseling through other people. Mm-hmm. Like, how am I supposed to feel about this? And yeah, I forgive him. You know, we're all sinners at the end of the day.
That's a short answer, but
yeah.
Was he sorry?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. He tells us all the time how sorry he is. And he tells my mom all the time how sorry he is. Literally the other day, he texted her on what would have been their anniversary and said, "Happy anniversary. So sorry I messed it all up." He feels horrible, and he knows that he messed up. And I mean, if he wouldn't have done that, he wouldn't have then met my stepmom and then adopted my two brothers, adopted my brother and sister. Mm. So, yes, something horrible happened, and yes, it hurts, but I think the Lord allowed that to happen. For one, so me and my sister could know what it's not supposed to look like, and then for two, so that I can gain this whole other side that I didn't think I was ever gonna have at all. Now I have a brother and sister that I didn't have. Yeah. You know.
Was it hard for you to, when they were adopted, to see a side of your dad that you didn't get given to them?
Yeah. I mean,
dude, I have a similar story. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, my dad was around. He was around every now and then, but I don't think that I kind of grew up with my dad around. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It does. Like, he was present, but he wasn't like intentionally around.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So watching him now be the father of those kids kind of puts some like not put some. It kind of hurts, you know, because it's like I never got to see the side of my dad.
And you probably never will.
Yeah, no, I'm 20 now. My dad's not really dadding me anymore. Does that make sense? And so I get to watch that, but at the same time, it's cool to watch. It's cool to see that side of my dad. And it's cool to be 20 and see the side of my dad and get to walk through it with him. Because we're learning at the same pace. Like, I'm learning how to be an older brother. You know, and he has to relearn what it means to be a dad of a 4 and 5-year-old, 4 and 6-year-old, you know. It's cool to stand by his side and watch him do that, because that, yeah, like you said, it's a side I never got to see. So, I mean, is there anger? Every now and then. Not anger at him, not anger at God, but more anger at the situation. That makes sense. But yeah,
That's deep.
yeah.
So what are some non-negotiables in your life for you to honor God? I mean, to have a life that is gonna lead you to not do what he did, or not do what.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm not saying that you're never gonna do it. Hopefully not, right? But
Yeah.
we all have flaws, so we all can like fall into temptation. How do you handle that?
Boundaries.
Okay.
And like, everybody says it, and it sounds so dumb, but it's so real. Communication. Set up those boundaries. Like, for like one of my boundaries, I'm never alone with another girl. That don't happen. I don't text another girl unless it is a friend of me and Liv's. You know, I don't. By that I mean like somebody that Liv also knows and trusts. You know, and if I do text another girl, Liv sees.
Of course.
You know, no secrets. No secrets at all. That's probably a big part.
Does your friends give you crap about those kind of boundaries? Your guy friends?
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, they don't know. They don't know that side of why I do it. All they think is, bro, like, you never hang out with us anymore. Like, especially like my like female friends that I had. Like, they're like, bro, you never hang out with us anymore. Like, you never go do this with us anymore. And I'm like, this is what I gotta do. I mean, I know better. I know, like, I'm not taking any chances. Like, I found the girl of my dreams. I'm not taking any chances, you know? And I got to learn firsthand what it looks like when you take chances, you know? So that's just not something that I'm doing. So yeah, I get crap for it, but it's part of it. I mean, you got to, I think.
That's a good answer, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got anything else that you want to talk about?
I think that covers.
You had a lot of notes. So did we even like talk about your notes?
I don't even think so.
What were some of them you flashed on, bro? Yeah, no, something I admire you is when we were praying in your room. Remember that night we were like singing and you say, hey, can we pray for Liv? I'm like, how is this guy even thinking about his girl right now? But I was like, dude, like I wish that character and intentionality about like, hey boys, I know we're having like fun singing, praising the Lord, but let's do this for my girlfriend. And then you call her and I was like, like this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
I mean, a lot of it wasn't just, a lot of it was less for her and more for like this situation, and I wanted her to be a part of it. If that makes sense. Like, her family was and is in desperate need of prayer.
Yeah.
You know, and I wanted her to be a part of it.
And
we needed to pray for her, and she needed to be in that one. Yes, it did help with the way she was feeling. Yes, it did. But the main reason why is she needed to be a part of it too.
Yeah.
You know,
she wasn't there, but she was part of it.
Yeah.
And that's shout out to you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What are some of your notes?
Just like how you find refuge and assurance in the Lord.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Um,
I asked you that and I didn't bring it up. Where do you find it?
Bro, these past couple weeks, the only thing I've been hearing is like through sermons or through like meetings with the worship team, and even in like little Bible study groups, is the secret place, finding your secret place, and which is like alone with God, you know, and that's probably a big part of it. Also sitting in worship, not so much singing, but shutting up and letting the Lord do the talking, instead of rambling on about a list of what is going wrong, but saying, "Hey God, you know what's up. Talk to me, and you know, also finding community helps, with just surrounding yourself with people that are after the same things as you and have that same connection with the Lord. I think that helps a lot.
Helps a lot. And I asked this because I didn't know how to bring it in, but you've been trying to do something for the student community for a minute. Let's just say it, bro. No one's going to hear this.
Yeah.
You've been trying to bring it on for months, and I saw you guys doing a meeting, praying about it. Y'all were all in, and y'all keep getting this no. And I've seen your desire of leading in chapel. Why they tell you no? I have no idea, bro. Like, I've seen you in your room, like, jamming out of nowhere. It's okay to admit that you might be better than others. Nothing wrong with that. You put the work in. You put the hours in. But when they give you the no's, every time, no, for months, does that challenge your self-assurance? Like, has that affected you somehow? Or you just like...
You know my real answer?
Bro, for real?
Not really. Not... Like, it's not me being cocky or whatever, but here, not really. I just more so take it as it's just not my time to do it yet, or maybe at all. Maybe this isn't a place that I'm supposed to lead people in worship, but to be led in worship, because all I do is lead worship. I rarely ever sit in and allow other people to lead me in worship.
Oh, I'm aware.
So, I mean, I get to do that here. Yeah. I get to sit and listen and worship. Why they tell me no? Couldn't tell you. But I think that it'd be wrong to say that that's not God's plan. You know, it's just not my time yet.
Okay.
And when it becomes my time,
it's time to shine.
Oh yeah, I feel like stuff's gonna go crazy. A lot will probably change. You know, I think because the worship culture from where I come from is so different than here.
Yeah.
And I would love to bring that here and allow others to get to experience that get to experience what I get to experience on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
It's insane. But I would love to do that. I keep getting told no. So it's all about waiting, you know.
Yeah.
When is it time? When do we get to do that? But I think that's in the Lord's hands when he is ready for me to finally do that. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I still need to learn how to be a better leader.
I know, but it's hard to see you ready for 1,100 people.
Yeah.
So many people, but not ready for 30.
Yeah.
Sometimes
100%.
That's how it is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm glad you've seen it that way.
Yeah.
It's a mature way to see it.
Yeah.
All right, DJ. That's it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. It's a good time.
Appreciate you coming. Yeah. Finally